Make it so, doth Jar Jar. Me's gonna destroy you, then. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh review. Today, let's take a look at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Deluxe Jar Jar Binks. Now, I know what you're thinking. I can hear you just putting fingers to keyboard right now. Jar Jar sucks! And I'm not here to dispute that at all. I hold no grudge towards anybody who thinks that. I'm just here to play with action figures. And when it comes to that, even though I may not like a character or a storyline or a plot point, I can appreciate the designs from the movies. And getting that in plastic form all day, every day. Because this morning when I got this, I thought, oh, it's been a while since I've seen the Phantom Menace. I better go to YouTube and search Jar Jar scenes. And I may have opened a gateway to hell. I don't recommend doing that. But looking at the package, it's that new style where they incorporate a color for the movie the character is from. And for Phantom Menace, we see this mustardy yellow color. But it still kept the slick aspects of the red back box that we got for years and years and years in this line. On the side, a nice, stoic, heroic picture of Jar Jar. On the back, same picture blown up, a bio for Jar Jar. Down here is way more warnings, includes figure, 3 accessories, don't put it in your mouth. On the other side, more window, Star Wars logo, just that hint of color. On top, more window. On the bottom, some legalese, barcode. But let's get this open and see what's going on here. And we all know by now the best way into these packages is through the bottom. I've tried more than a few different ways, and this is the easiest. Got that cover on top. Oh, that's prettier than I thought it'd be. Oh, look at that. Some assembly required. Does that just plug in? Get Mesa out of here! And this is way more fun than it deserves to be. Or, well, maybe just as fun as he deserves to be. When it was first announced that this was a deluxe release, I thought, why? I mean, we get all kinds of unique sculpting here, but they really went above and beyond, I think. The sculpting on the body underneath, on the actual clothing, there's a texture to it, which I always love, and leave no plain flat. He has a V-neck because he's stylish as hell, coming down to some wrinkles around the waist. To the pants, it continues that same look. There's a looseness, a bagginess to it, and that just continues on all the way down to the foot. On the outside, there's this stitched look. I wish there was some paint apps right there to kind of punch it up a bit, because as is, it disappears into the sheen of the plastic. The waist piece hanging down, it also has a texture and some slight wrinkles back here, but it mostly comes around like he's wearing it real tight or something. That rides inside a trench in the sculpt, so it's not going to be flying up and down. Same for his vest, except there's a thicker seam running around the whole outside, like it is in the movie. That comes around to the back, some slight detail here and there. There's a skin texture that isn't overdone. You can see in this sheen of the plastic, it breaks up a bit because of the itty-bitty details. There's some wrinkles to the foot, some toenails down here. There's some of the pad on the bottom of the foot sculpted on. Wrinkles on the upper torso, moving up into the neck, and then finally to the head. That is unmistakably, undeniably Jar Jar. Perfect shape to the snout, nostrils sculpted in. Same for the eye stalks. He has just a kind of a glazed look to his eyes. Working into the ears, the great detail back here hanging down. You can see the, well, I don't know what those are called. The bone protrusions? Well, it's not even bone. What is it? Cartilage? Something? I don't know Gungan physiology. But what really ups the ante here is the paint job. Look at the details to the eyes. Just the extra lines going around the pupil, the fades from the lighter color to the orange, working its way under the ears, down the neck, down the center. Under the arm is that same color fading around, but look at the painted detail out here. Just that squiggly working its way through the skin tone. That's also there on the back of the neck. These protrusions, whatever they are, those are painted too. Same for the fingernails, same for the toenails. Down here on the feet, we also get that fade from one color to another. There's a wash or a dirtiness to the wrap around the waist, but it stops halfway around and it's not on the back. But then they did that same wash on the vest. It does travel around, but it's covered by the ears most of the time. So instead of this, put some wash on this. The sculpt, the paint, the proportions, it is all perfectly Jar Jar, but I think the thing that throws me off zooms the wrong way, is the stoicness to the face. There's a seriousness, almost boring. When I think of Jar Jar, I think of wide eyes or eye stalks going in different directions, ears whipping around, stupid smile, or tongue hanging out, something. I don't know if this is Hasbro trying to keep it a bit serious, or in the movie, whenever Jar Jar's in the background, there's sometimes some antics, but most of the time he's just following other characters around, scoping the surroundings, just looking like this until something actually happens, or something catches his attention. And then he goes into full-on Jar Jar mode. So as a shelf piece or diorama filler, something like that, this works great. But if you're wanting Jar Jar to be the focal point of your pictures or scene, then it falls a little flat. Or because this is, you know, you can only use this body for Gungans for obvious reasons, well, you may see another release of this down the road in some kind of wacky head action something. Get their money's worth out of this mold? I don't know. But another big positive to this is the articulation they jammed into them. There is a ball joint at the top of the neck, and there is a ball joint at the bottom. And together with all that, you can kick back, look up. The ears do get in the way a bit, and I wish they were on ball joints. I can see why they didn't. This one seems to want to come off. I don't know. I may have torn that during picture time. This one, it's solid. You can't turn it. You can't move it. But the neck, you can jut forward and look down. And watch this. Tilt! So much tilt! Side to side. It's almost soothing the way this moves. It does swivel at the top and bottom. Sometimes you'll get the neck off center. You just have to work it back around. Hinges swivel at the shoulder, hinges up past 90, rotates all the way around. Hinges swivel at the elbow too, comes up a little past 90 and then rotates. Side to side hinge to the wrist, come on. And then swivel. Ball joint mid-torso too, and the thing about that, he may not be able to crunch all the way. Working together with that neck, it's a lot of posability. Ooh! Ball coming out to the hip and it's left open. It has plenty of room. This thing is a bit soft. It gets out of the way, so the leg comes all the way forward. Not so much back. Ouch! You gotta kind of stretch that thing. Oh, well, that's not terrible. That's better than Spider-Man. Swivel at the thigh. Double knee. Oh, I thought they were taking all those away. Oh, easily kicks his Gungan ass. And I didn't have high hopes for the ankle, but it goes back, does go forward, and then forward-facing pin for some rocker. For accessories, you saw me put the spear together. It's cast in this kind of goldish plastic. Or, well, it may be some swirly-twirly gold plastic, but it's so small you can see neither swirl nor twirl. There's a hook in the middle, and then some brown paint for the grips or whatever these are. And I never realized there's actual spear edges on the one end. But again, if you're wanting to store this, it does break down in the middle. It goes beautifully in his hand, get it around the grip. There's also some softness to his fingers. No problem just popping it on. He also comes with this ball in a grip thing. Is that pronounced atlatl? Atlatl. But I love the sculpt of this. Again, the plastic is a bit metallic. Lots of nice little sharp detail. And then the clear energy ball in the end. At first I thought it was going to come out and I worried, oh, that's definitely getting lost in the carpet monster, but it is glued in. It's not coming out. Then there's the energy shield, and this may be my favorite accessory I've gotten in a while. It all comes down to the translucent plastic that they've used for the shield piece itself. Don't get me wrong, I love the patina and the sheen of the gold around the edges, but that purplish fading color to the translucent energy effect, oh man, that is fantastic. I do have a blemish right there, but I'll just put that on bottom. And now it looks great. Again, there's a softness to Jar Jar's fingers. You just pop it on and he holds it really well. Same thing with the thicker grip of the Atlatl. Misa ready! Height-wise, Jar Jar stands at about 6.5 inches tall to the top of his eye stalks, which is fantastic scaling next to the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Episode 1 Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. And yes, I replaced his head with a casting cave. Why wouldn't I? That also works really well with the SH Figuarts Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. And as much as I'm enjoying this, even if Bandai comes out with theirs, I feel like I can skip it. I won't because I'm a sucker, but I feel like I could. And then here's the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Padme and Anakin. Then to give you an even better idea of size, here he is next to the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Deluxe Zeb and the Amazon exclusive Chewbacca. So at the end of the day, as much as some don't want to hear it, it's an excellent action figure. And to reiterate, again, I totally get it. I'm not bashing on anybody who hates Jar Jar. Just remember though, you clicked on the video. I didn't make you do shit. A lot of people think I just love every second of every Star Wars movie, and that's just not true. I'm just one of those guys that I can pick and choose. What I like, and I hold near and dear, and what I don't like, I just don't pay much attention to. So while Jar Jar may annoy me, and basically there's annoying people in the world, so I don't know why they wouldn't stick those into movies. But anyway, while Jar Jar does annoy me, I can appreciate his design, and he did lead to the downfall of the government as they knew it, you know? So he's kind of an important character. But even more to the point of that, a good toy is a good toy. A fun action figure is a fun action figure. And this is both of those things. Now, this is a deluxe release, so the price is a little higher. The box is a little bit bigger, but I feel like for what we get, and again, it's hard to justify it because we see a lot of new sculpting in the regular figures too. But here, there was engineering, there was the translucent violet material on the shield. That may be the big winner for me for some reason. I think this is gonna transition into maybe another version of Jar Jar with different face. Comes with the fish food thing that he hits Sebulba with. I don't know if we'll go as far as Senator Jar Jar, but I can also see Captain Tarpals being made from this because the vest and the wraparound piece does come off. So you swap those out, give them a different head, and there you go. And yes, I'd buy Tarpals too. Maybe with a, oh, what was it, a Kadu? Was that what he was riding? I know we're deep in Mandalorian territory with a lot of the releases lately, but I hope this is a signal that they're gonna do some more prequels again. And I can see a lot of fun pictures on the horizon using Jar Jar. So if you enjoyed the review, comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus if you're interested in seeing videos early or just in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Fwoosh. And as I'm moving this around, I'm feeling that I didn't really pose it in the most dynamic way for that final shot. I mean, there is just so many possibilities here. Like I said, it's a fun figure. You can get, that was just 2 seconds. Well, it's probably longer than that, but you know what I mean.